Sheesh, Axis, Tequidi, Axis Kohas, Gonna Sheesh Akandiati, Yakdat Kwana Yawahan, Nakita, Akona Nayuha to a South, Takan, Takkat you to a Kinajin. I'd like to thank you, my grandfather's tribe, and you people. We're from Yakutat, and some people call us the interior Indians. We used to travel up through the Alsac Trail back into the interior. And the other one, if you don't know where Yakutat is, well, it's the northwestern part of southeastern Alaska. So we come from there. And without further delay, I'd like to set my stopwatch and see how this thing is going. Hang on. I think we can make it. Only 2 hours behind time. Turn! They sing their outside song. They tell you that they're here. Traditional potluck we to let the people know inside. Mike's off. That you are here and you're going to dance. And you're ready to dance, and so they're out there bringing it on. And I guess the invitation went out 2 years ago. But traditionally, it goes out a year ahead of time, and you prepare your food, your songs, and your dances. And then when you go to the place where they're going to have the potluck, you surround the whole house. And you sing your outside song to let the people in there know you are here. And then you start dancing the incoming song. And this is the traditional way to do it. In the olden days, eagles and ravens never danced together. They danced separate because our world is a balanced world. It's always balanced, eagle and a raven, a little competition between. If you wanted anything done of value, you went to the opposite tribe and asked its chief, and he went to his craft. The noise they make, they pound on the house to let you know that they are here and ready to dance. Goop! The inside coming in song is a song from the interior. It's called Sheepdog Call. We traveled far and we traveled wide, and every time we traveled to some other place, we'd sometimes retain some of their songs, the incoming song. Our canoes left Yakutat all the way down to Washington. Canoes left from Yakutat all the way down to Kodiak. We're going to do part of the dances. Like I said, we used to travel a long ways, and our canoes used to go down to the state of Washington to Kodiak, and into the interior in Carcross, to Atlanta, and we traded all those routes. But in the different places that we migrated, went to, sometimes there was a contest of who could outdance who. And so we picked up the dances. And from the interior Indian, one dance we'd like to do for you, we call the ptarmigan dance. Actually, the ptarmigan dance is a mother ptarmigan and two little ptarmigans. And so we'd like to do that one. Are they ready? There are a lot of different dances that we have from the different tribes. We, at one time, danced 7 different tribal dances. One is the interior coming down song, and I was really surprised to hear that they now discovered a body which is 450 years old in the ice going up into the interior. Goop! Next, we'd like to do for you the one we call our subsistence song. A little young boy was going with his uncle going down a beach, and these little crows came along, and they started flying in a column above him. And pretty soon you could hear a song. They were singing a song to him as they were going in a column. And after he got left there, he went to his uncle and told his uncle about it. And he said, his uncle told him, well, we'll have to give it to the other tribe. And so it is the little crows. You'll hear them on the beach sometimes when it's really minus tide and they're having a lot of fun. And they look at all the food spread out in front of them, clams, cockles, and all of that. But then they are so sad when the tide comes up. They can't see their food anymore. This is the way the song reads. And so with that, we would like to do for you the little crows on the beach. Goop! Our life was made up of different laws among the Clinton Nation. One of the greatest laws that we had is that you didn't pass or fool with my land. Land was very precious to us. All the animals around us had a spirit. Everything had a spirit. And then there was protocol. There was a very strong use of protocol between the eagles and the ravens and different tribes. We geared to that. We lived by it. If you injured somebody from another tribe, you had to pay because our law stood as eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. But one of the things in the potlatch is each person was seated according to his rank. He's the Anyati and the house chief and down the line and all the servants. They were set in groups and rows. And at a certain time, when they brought out the food, they would call out the head man, the Kokotin. And it's set before him. And he'd have to get up and dance for it. And so at this time, we would like to do for you around the dish dance. By God, here's our dishes too. Goop! Be seen. Hasikos Ede. Every once in a while, they'd compose a song and a dance for competitive reasons. Because, like I say, the Eagles and the Ravens never dance together. They always try to compete against each other. And so this is one of the dances that was developed when one of those tribes came to another potluck and they danced a different style. So we'd like to do for you what we call from side to side. You be the judge. Go! One of the things we tried to do is to teach these young people who they are in the Tlingit world, what tribe they belong to, where they come from, and also what their crest is. Just a short demonstration of how many different tribes we have in the Yaktad area, we would like to separate them. Can I have all the ravens on that side, eagles on this side? What we try to do is separate them into their own group and try to make them understand, if they started doing a research of their clan, their lineage side, who their grandfather's clan is, who are their grandfathers as we go from everyday life. One of the protocols of the Tlingit, that you must respect your elders. And so this is something that we work with. And I'd like to, for each tribe, Nellie, to tell you which tribes we have. At this time, we would like to ask something unusual. Anyone who is a descendant from the Yakutat area, would you please stand? Is there anyone here from the Yakutat area, descendant of the Yakutat area, would you please stand? For the chief, for the chief.
At this time, we are going to present something to one of our elders. She has been with us for a long, long time. My sister-in-law, I was just a little baby yet when she came to Yakutat, and she's been with us ever since. I know she comes from Huna, but my brother snagged her. So we are honoring her today. Huna might want her back, and we don't want her to leave us. She is a Sharky. I put the last 3 beads in at 3 o'clock.
And to show you how precious she is to us, I would like to have all of her grandchildren step forward. So you can see how long she has been with us.
She has 2 daughters here. She's right behind you.
These are her grandchildren. At one time, there was 150 Aleut boats off the coast of Yakutat. And anybody who's been to Yakutat know that we have beautiful sand beach, 90 miles of sand beach. Our mountains are 11 miles back. But when these boats were there hunting with Baranov's party and those in that area, there was 150 boats, 2 men to each boat on some of them. That's 300 men. And some of the boats had 3 crew members. And they used to talk about, in a storm, they'd pop up and down, following the big sailboat as they were coming down the coast hunting sea otter. So when they come into the Yakutat Bay, it was the policy to trade hostage. We would give them one of ours, and they would send one of theirs to us. And if there was any trouble, well, somebody loses a hostage. That's the way it was. But then in dancing and everything, we danced with them and never did take too much to it. But we have the dances in the Yakutat area. And we'd like to do one for you. It's an Aleut song and dance. One of the things I try to impress on these young people is if you're going to dance and you're going to do your grandfather's dance, you dance from the heart. You just don't dance from the fingers and move your head around. You dance from the heart. And that's what I try to teach them. So going along with that, I'd like to demonstrate one of my little tricks that I use for making them do. Because I tell them, this is the boss. the drum. All you have to do is start beating the drum. It's going to go through you, like Harry Brumman used to tell us. Ituch ye kagut. Ituch ka kagut itayo. At the Gosners. And so this is what I try to do with these things. So to demonstrate how I do it, I don't know how you do it, I'm going to tell them to close their eyes. All right. Close your eyes. Like I say, we traveled far, and some people traveled to our country. At one time, there was a group that came up to our country, and in a contest, they lost. We won, and we kept 5 of their songs, but we'd like to use one of the songs as our exit song. We are ready, and we're going to say goodbye. Thank you. Wait till they get there now. At one time, this was known as the Simsian song. It is now, because we won it in a contest, it's known as the Yakutat Blanket Dance.